What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. See, we're on the dev server for patch 1.99, or as it's currently known as 1.98 for some reason. I want to do a quick list of my favorite top 5 vehicles that I'm looking forward to in patch 1.99. I wanted to break up the monotony. I didn't want to do a whole dev server overview of every single vehicle because, my gosh, there are a lot of vehicles, there are a lot of changes. It's a fascinating read, the dev server patch notes. I highly recommend taking a look at them. But to start things off, let's head on over to Great Britain. This is the Scimitar F Mark 1 battle rating 9.3 fighter. Now, since I'm primarily a tank RB player, this interests me because of its weaponry. It gets 4 bullpup rockets. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with bullpups, they are not what you would call dumbfire rockets, although you can use them that way. When you fire the rockets, you can actually guide them using your mouse, or excuse me, your keyboard controls after the fact. So they're very powerful. And those of you who have seen them on, say, the the FJ4B, know just how good they are. And you get 4 of them on the Scimitar. And for those of you who are curious, the Scimitar falls in just behind the Sea Venom. So if you want to get the Scimitar right away, unlock the Sea Venom, and so that you can get this right away. Other ordnance options include regular rockets, a couple of bombs, AIM-9Bs, get 2 bullpups with some AIM-9B sidewinders, so you get a nice little assortment to choose from depending on which game mode you're going to play. On top of that, you get the 4 30mm Aiden cannons, so you really can't go wrong with this thing. Next up on the list, we head on over to Russia. The Su-7B. This is a very similar setup as with the Scimitar. I'm going to be using this in Tank RB, and this has more of what you would call dumbfire rockets because they don't have any sort of after fire control guidance system, and you have several various bomb and rocket options, but the ones I anticipate using are the S-24s, which I believe are on the, let me take a look quick, so I want to make sure I get this right. The IL-28SH gets the same rockets, and they're just terrific. The Su-7B, by the way, falls in line behind the LA-200 and LA-15. What makes the S-24 rockets so good is the combination of both penetration, 80mm, and high explosive mass, filler, 25.5 kilograms of TNT. I mean, that's just an astonishing amount of explosive filler. You hit a tank in the top of the turret or engine deck or whatever, and it's just going to nuke it. It's very useful. So I'll be using mine in a lineup like this one that I put together for you to take a look at. Object 685, Object 279, T55AM, T55A, T62M, Shulka, and the BMP3. It should be a pretty solid lineup. It should be a pretty good challenge for Germany, because right now they're dominating things. But we'll see how that lasts. Next up, third on my list, is the HSTV-L. This is a new American tank, battle rating 9.3. This is a lightweight, fast-firing, highly mobile destroyer of everything. It's I don't know how else to describe it. The caliber of the gun is not very amazing. You know, it's only a 75, but it's got it fires an APFS DS shell, and so it's got a pretty good penetration, just under 300mm of penetration. It's thermals. It does not get laser rangefinder, which is unfortunate. So you're going to be probably using this at short to medium range engagements. One thing I liked about it is the 53 degrees of turret rotation. That means it turns its turret extremely fast. But the one thing that I didn't like about it is that the let's see if I can show this. The first stage ammo storage, also known as the ready rack, it only contains 6 shells, so it's 6 plus the one that's in the gun. So once you fire those first 7 shells, you're stuck reloading for a while, and that's what I don't like about it. If you're on a small map, like say in the middle of the Middle East map, and you're engaging all those vehicles in between the two nearby caps, I don't remember their names exactly. I don't know if it's A and B or B and C, but you know what I mean. You can get a lot of engagements and you can actually run out of ammunition. It's a lot like the Lorraine 40T. It's got a really fast reload, but once you run out of that ready rack ammunition, you're shit out of luck sometimes. Now there is already a dev server bug report on the forums that has been filed. Someone has found a manual claiming that this has a 1.5 second reload in real life. I have no idea if that's gonna be approved by Gaijin or not, but still 5.5 seconds is pretty quick. Just to show this off, let's take this into a test drive just really quickly. I'm not gonna do this with everything because I'm trying to keep this video nice and short for you guys. Look at this turret rotation. That's going to make it really useful for close quarters combat. Duking a machine gun, a couple of them actually. And the speed, it's remarkably fast here. I love the look of this thing. It looks so strange. It looks like a little bit of the T-92, kind of alien-like. What about its reverse speed? Not too shabby. 15-16 kilometers an hour in reverse. Not bad. And it does get smoke grenades, so I think that's going to be a pretty good vehicle. Now we find ourselves back to Great Britain, and we're taking a look at the Challenger 2 2F. Now this is basically, as I understand it, an upgrade package for the Challenger 2. The 2F is supposed to provide better better protection against incoming shells. However, as I understand it, the armor package is not completely, fully, and correctly implemented on the dev server. If we take a look at the armor protection analysis and bring up, say, Germany, Leopard A1a1, and its best shell, the DM33, 500 meters distance. You see the lower front plate is only protecting against 100 millimeters of penetration. That's not very effective, is it? The turret, on the other hand, is protecting against well over 700 millimeters of pen on the cheeks, but of course, once you get closer to the gun barrel, not so much. You can punch you can punch right through that. Pardon me. Upper plate, it's got some spots where it's protecting, but it just depends on the spot, I think, sometimes. It does provide some protection, I gotta admit. I think you're gonna bounce some shells on this new Challenger. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to them buffing up the armor package so that this stands up. If we take a look at this lineup that I've provided, you have a lot of Challengers. You have a couple of cast planes. You got the new Scimitar. Not everyone has the Reaper, of course, because that was a premium, an expensive premium, but it's good. It's a good cast plane. Got a couple of older Challengers, but the new Challenger 2, along with the old one, you've got a lineup that is extremely good, believe it or not. A lot of people, they overlook the Challenger series because they seem to have this opinion that if it's not overpowered, it's crap, and it's just not the case. These tanks are actually good, they're just not overpowered. And speaking of not overpowered, we find ourselves at my most anticipated tank believe it or not, is the M48 Super. It's a funky looking tank, and yet I'm really looking forward to it. So this is not just any old upgraded M48. It's upgraded in many aspects. Perhaps the most obvious area is the armor. It's got some funky looking, I don't know what you would call it. It looks like something out of a Transformers movie. It looks so goofy. But here's what I like about the tank. It's not the armor. I don't care about the armor. The M48 is never going to have great armor. It's actually the fact that it's finally got a 2-plane stabilizer. You finally have an M48 with a stabilizer. That's exactly what I've been looking forward to. And it holds 20 shells in the radio rack, which is excellent. The stock shell is the DM23. You get a tier 1 upgrade for Hesh, tier 2 upgrade is HeatFS, and a tier 4 upgrade in the DM33. So you get very good penetration, battle rating 9.3, you get thermals, you get a laser rangefinder, you get pretty much everything you could possibly want in a vehicle. Oh, and that's not all. You also get an upgraded engine. That's right. Because the M48, excuse me, let's go back to the Army. Let's take a look at the M48 A2 GA2. This is fully upgraded, by the way. And you see it has an engine power of 825 horsepower. So with a Super, you're getting, in addition to all the other upgrades, you're also getting a more powerful engine, which will allow you to go faster, but also allow you to accelerate faster as you maneuver about the terrain. The M48 is a decent vehicle already, but you know, once you start trying to maneuver around rocks and stuff, it can kind of get bogged down in some of those maps. But with this 1,000 horsepower engine, it's really not going to be a problem anymore. The Super, it looks to me like a really good vehicle, and when you couple it with this other lineup that Germany has, at the KPZ-70, which is moving up to 9.3 because of its reload buff in the last patch. You get the Red Camp Wagon 90, which is still unfortunately at 9.0. It should be at 9.3 in my opinion. Guys, you'll eventually get that fixed, I'm sure. You got the Gepard for anti-air. Got the G91 R3 when this 2 Nord ATGMs are just terrific. You got the new G91 R4, which is basically the same thing with 2 more Nords, because why not? And we got a Leopard A1a1. I do have the premium one, but I just didn't have enough room here. But the TAM, I mean, those of you who are familiar with the Germans at this tier, you know just how good some of these vehicles are. 9.3 looks like a pretty good vehicle, or excuse me, a pretty good lineup. The only problem is going to be the potential full up tier against 10.3, which I'm hoping War Thunder will eventually fix and will move top tier up to like 10.7 or even 11.0 and create a little bit of decompression in the top battle ratings, but I doubt that'll happen anytime soon. But in the meantime, I think we're going to have some good a good amount of fun with the M48 when it comes out, along with the KPZ. Because I think the KPZ-70 is still going to be extremely popular despite the battle rating increase. Anyway, guys, that is my top 5 list of vehicles that I'm looking forward to. I'll be curious what you're looking forward to. There are all kinds of plans at the Starfighters, and there's just a whole ton of vehicles coming in this patch. New helicopters. Japan is actually getting new helicopters. I can't believe it. Look at this poor guy. The Type 93. Japan is actually getting a ground vehicle. It's basically a truck with some SAM missiles. And it actually works. It's fast. It is fast as heck. Getting some Apaches. I mean, Japan is actually getting some new toys this patch, and I'm shocked. Because Japan knows always like the redheaded stepchild of this game. Never get anything. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care, guys.